Hey YouTube, it's Andy here, one of your event directors from UBC PMC. We just had an event recently where we talked to a product manager. His name is Alan. I'll put a link up to the full talk in the top right hand corner here. But he talked about problem discovery and customer discovery and the things that you should and shouldn't do. And there were two things that he mentioned that I really want to make a video about because I thought that these were really important. The two things that he mentioned are two things that you should not do and are actually mentioned on this slide. Specifically, he mentions that you should not ask hypotheticals and you should never use the word why. And I asked a question about this, which again, I will throw in like now.
How would you do customer discovery without hypothetical questions and without asking why? What are a couple of key specific questions you typically ask? Um, in the pause we had for the breakout room session, I also asked a similar question, but
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, I'll answer that here, and it's a good question. Uh, Hypothetical questions are dangerous because we're asking about the future, and we're not good predictors of the future, and our interviewees are not good predictors of the future. It is unreliable information, and the only thing worse than not having information is having information that's not accurate, because then we think it is, and we're acting as if it is, without the doubt that would come from not having the information in the first place. So it's important to avoid hypothetical questions and ask only about reality of people who have lived that reality. So you wouldn't ask someone who bought a cat why would they buy a dog? You're not going to learn anything useful about dog buyers. And to ask about why without using the word, there's all kinds of ways to do this. And we do this because asking why can often lead to just a single answer. I did it because it was the cheapest. Well, now the conversation's over and there's no more insight to be gained. Whereas if you ask, what are some of the factors that you looked at? What led you to? What did you consider? How did you know a good one when you saw it? What are the ways that it stood out to you? There's all kinds of things that you can ask other than why that will elicit a far more uh, nuanced answer, far more answers, and uh, you can ask about how particular values that they already have mentioned played out against each other.
Mhm. And for clarification, when you say don't ask why, do you mean avoid the word entirely or just avoid the
Yes.
situation where you only ask why? Okay, interesting.
No, avoid the word entirely. Any why
Okay.
question you can ask without using the word, and it's not that every answer that you get to a why question is going to be bad, but it is not as good often enough that it's always worth choosing a non-why wording to achieve the why answer that you're looking for.
So to summarize his response, if you shouldn't ever ask hypotheticals, because if you're gonna ask hypothetical questions, you're gonna get hypothetical answers. And in a situation where you're trying to learn things about the customer, hypothetical answers are the last thing you want. You want something that's backed by concrete data. So ask about things from the past and don't ask why, because there's just better questions you can ask in order to understand your customer. So a couple of the examples that he provided was ask about their thought process, ask about the things they've done in the past and the decisions that they've made in the past, because that's something that is concrete data and concrete evidence, and that's something that's not hypothetical. And upon other things. So like I'm kind of new to this space of problem discovery and how to do it properly, and like you're not really taught in school how to do this, and so I think that talk was really great. It was extremely informative. I highly suggest that you go watch it, and if you found that interesting and found this video or this kind of style interesting, let us know down in the comments below. UBC PMC is affiliated with UBC, but because of the nature of online events, we're kind of open to everyone. So if you want to join our events and you want to check us out, feel free to do so. The socials and the links will be down in the description below. Again, we have a Slack group and we host events every 2 to 3-ish weeks. So feel free to check us out. All right. Peace.